Hi, this is Manjunath. I'm going to explain you all about the project of garbage collection which we have implemented, and in this video I'll be explaining about the project, how to import the project and how to run the project on a Tomcat server. I have shared a RAR file which will be having garbage collection folder. What you need to do is open an Eclipse application, come to file, click on import. You have to go to under general you will be finding an option saying external existing project into workspace. You just need to click on this and click on next and go to the folder where you have copied the garbage collection app. Click on next and just click on finish. Okay, so once you see that, you will be able to find a folder just like this in the left hand side of the Eclipse of garbage collection. Okay, so this is how you have imported an existing project into your workspace. Okay, but before that you should have some configurations that you have made in your Eclipse. Like you should tell your Eclipse that you are using Java and what kind of Java version that you are using. Okay, to do this configuration, once you have installed Eclipse, you should have come to Windows, click on Preference, and there is an option here called as Java. You need to click on this one, expand this one, and you will find another option saying install JREs. So you can use either Java 1.7 or Java 1.8 version for this project. Okay, so I have installed Java 1.8 JDK, and I've came here. I've added those configurations here with these following steps. Okay, clicking on add, clicking on standard virtual machine, browse to the JRE home, which will be the path of C, program files, Java, and the version that you like to. I like JDK 1.8, so you can click OK. You can give the name if you want, or you can choose the preferred name, JDK 1.9. Since I already have Java, I will not do these steps. Just click on next and click on finish. You will be finding this option here. Click on this as a default JDK that the Eclipse needs to use. After this one, by doing this, you have told your Eclipse that you will be using Java or JDK 1.7 or 1.8 for this project. Okay, so after this you need to configure Apache Tomcat server for your Eclipse. So to do that one, again you need to come to Windows, Preference. You will find another option here saying that servers. Okay, server, click on server, expand the option, click on runtime environment. So here you need to add the server that you like to run the application. Okay, so for this project we are using Apache Tomcat, so which is a free version. So before that you need to download the Apache Tomcat server. To download, open the Chrome browser, usually 7 will be the preferred one, I like to know. So even Apache 8 is also there, or 9. So just download Apache Tomcat 7. So once you search like this, download Apache Tomcat 7, you will be given with the first link. Okay, just follow that link, and once you come here, you will be able to see either a zip version or a tar or an installer version. Okay, I prefer to go with the zip version. So based on your system, either 32-bit or 64-bit, just click on the which one you need to download. Okay, mine is 64-bit, so I clicked on download. So I have downloaded the Apache Tomcat. After downloading, you just need to extract the one which is downloaded. Then just after extracting, come to the Eclipse again, click on add, click on Apache Tomcat 7, click on next, go to the path where you have downloaded the Apache Tomcat. Just give to the folder where you will be able to enter into Apache Tomcat. Okay, in my case I have already downloaded, and I have kept under a folder called as C Tomcat7 prod. Okay, just click on that. So let it be default JRE, which will be whatever the earlier configuration you have done, and click on OK in your case. So then you will be able to find the Tomcat7 here. So once you have done these configurations, then you will be able to find options like this in your Eclipse. Okay, so after this, once you have imported your project, these are the files. I have some extra files in this one, so you may not find. So the main thing that you need to check on is the web.xml. This is what the Tomcat server understands about the project. Okay, here in this project, this is and I assume that you are aware of the web application, what is a web application, and how to create a web application in Eclipse, and what is web.xml, and what are the configurations that you do in web.xml. So, and about the servlets. Okay, because this project is about servlet, and based on those technologies, servlet technologies. So I'm not going to explain about those technologies here. Just a brief details about what we have done in web.xml I'm going to explain. So we have created a servlet with a library called as Jersey servlet container, which is an extension library of the normal servlet. But if we use this library, we will be able to use the REST technology. So that is why we have imported this library into our application. You can see all the libraries under here that we have imported. You may find some unwanted libraries which we can remove. So this is what we are telling. This is the servlet that I am using, and this is the servlet name. And to this servlet name, we have told that we'll be using, these are the packages where the servlet needs to use, and whatever the servlet what we have just see, it needs to use under this path. Okay, /web/ under this path. So whenever I create a controller, basically a controller is nothing but a endpoint where the Tomcat means where the request will start coming. Okay, from here the web controller, what we call, the request gets distributed to the service layer and the whatever we have configured here. It's a little bit big to explain about REST technologies in the current video. It takes more time, so I'll be just assume that since you have made a configuration saying web/ here, and it will come to here, this path. Okay, so here I am saying that this path represents the Jersey library configuration, which tells that it needs to come here after web.api. So after web.api, next thing is it will come here saying that controller. So it scans, actually the library will scan, and it will be loaded during this when the project is started in the Tomcat. Okay, so this is just a get method which says just for testing whether the service is up or not, and this is the get garbage, is the endpoint, that API that we have exposed to get the details of the garbage. If you go inside this one, so I have created a list. I've created a bean which will be having all the garbage details. So next thing is we have created a web service where we write a logic of hitting the DAO layer. Okay, I understand that you guys will be confused with controller, web service, and the DAO layer, whatever I speak. I'll be explaining these details in another video, so just follow these steps. Like when the web.xml is loaded in the servlet, it comes to this, means whenever you hit an endpoint saying that web API /get garbage collection, it comes to this program. This method will be executed. So inside this method, I'm calling another method saying that of a web service get garbage list. If you go inside this method web garbage list, there is no much logic written here. What we are doing is we just hitting the DAO, which is the data access layer. So get garbage details. When you come inside here I've just written a simple SQL query saying that select star from garbage. Garbage is a table that we have created in a database, I'll be explaining about database too. So with del flag no, which means which are not deleted, okay, which are an active state, and we'll be executing that garbage. Actually it's the data. You see, if you see here, this database connection is a utility class that we have written for executing the database connection, first creating the connection, then executing any statement, okay. When it comes here, you see in a single statement it is saying the database connection dot get result set. If you enter into this method, it checks whether get connection. First it will get the connection, okay. When it is get the connection, it checks whether the connection is already there. It gives a connection. If the connection is not there, then it creates a connection using the following steps, like class dot for name the driver details are specified here, and below that there are the connection string and the username password. So once the database connection is acquired, then I'm calling a method called as get result set. So it just does a prepare statement, executing the prepare statement. But here we have written a simple SQL query which works instead of a prepare statement. So once the SQL query executes, it gives a result set which will be having the list of rows that the query has given. So we are using the we are looping through each row, and we are putting into an object called as garbage object, and then we'll be just returning that object back to service layer. If you come down here, we'll be just returning back the list to service layer, and the list comes here. This is the list, and the list will be returned back again to the controller layer. This is the web controller. Here the list will be actually I'm just printing the size of the list. Then here as per the again I need to tell Jersey that the library that I have used to create a JSON object. JSON is a way of just representing the data, okay, like an XML. So telling the Jersey to make as per the JSON and build it and just respond the data, okay. So here in this case it's a garbage bin. It just creates a list and it just responds back to the HTTP call which was made, okay. So this video little bit explains high level of programming of this project. So coming to the HTML part, there is a simple index.jsp login.html, which is the main login screen that what will be viewed. Let me try to run the application. The application can be run on local system also, whatever the configurations that we have made here. So once the server is configured here, we need to right click on this project, come as run as, and run on server. Select the Tomcat like 7 and click on next. You will be able to see and just finish, okay. This is how you run the project on a local system, okay. But since the Android application needs to access this application, we cannot run this application in a local system and expect Android app to connect to that system, okay, because for Android app to work, it needs to connect to a public server, or the IP needs to be available in the network which Android app will be able to access, okay. So for this Android app to work, we need to deploy this application into some public server, okay. Have a public server, and I assume that you know about a public server. A public server is nothing but a server which will be able to access using internet, okay. Like we have a public an IP address where you will be able to hit. This is a server that I have on the cloud, so it's on the based on the Amazon web server. So I just now I've logged in into its console. So here just like the Tomcat configurations what we did in Eclipse, I have done this configuration in Linux, okay. So I've already copied the WAR file that we get exposed that it needs to be deployed into Tomcat. When you did here, when you run the application, like when you right click on the application, run as and run on server, what happened in background is the Eclipse created a WAR file. A WAR file is nothing but a web archive file, which is the a file that needs to be deployed into a Tomcat, or a Tomcat can understand that kind of file. Okay, so that is and deployed Tomcat uses that file to basically that is the what you say, the file that is the end of the means like jar, right? Just like that, it's a WAR. Okay, the web archive file which we need to deploy and run into the application. Okay, so I have copied the WAR file into the server already, and now I'll just run the application. Okay, so this is how we start the application in Linux. Okay, but in case of Eclipse, we just right click on this one and run as and run on server. Okay, so forget about that Linux, just concentrate on the Eclipse way of running the application. So once the application is run on the server, we'll be able to access it from here. So GPS, this is the URL that I've created long back. Okay, so I use the same one. So garbage collection is the application that is running on that server. Okay, so we just now I started. I've given a basic username as admin and admin, and you can just use login into that one. Once you log in into this one, you will be seeing a basic home screen which just has a logout and a garbage collection request. When you click on this one, this screen will be displaying all the garbage details that we have. Okay, so basically it brought all the details. Like when a user just logs into the app and submits the garbage, it will appear here. When you want to submit and if it does not appear, just refresh it, because if the server is slow, then it fetches all the details again back from over there here. And if you see that even the data has not appeared, just click on refresh. Okay, sometimes the data doesn't appear if the internet is a little bit slow. Hope it has loaded. So you can also remove the garbage details. For example, okay, I was testing something. I'll explain about the garbage details about this app in another video, because as the video is big. Okay.